everyone and welcome to brand new episode of GIBS. Here we have with us Ankita Roy. She is from iimkozhikode and let's hear from her own journey, how she prepared for CAT and got an admission into iimkozhikode, and let's hear about her challenges and strategy that she implied and got this result. So I welcome Ankita in this video of GIBS, and please tell us about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Ankita Roy, and about myself, I was born and brought up in West Bengal. There I did my 10th and 12th, and after that I moved on to chemical engineering from Jagatpur University, and after that I got placed in RT Industries Limited. It's a specialty chemical manufacturing company. That's in Gujarat. I have almost 2.5 years of work ex, and after that I got selected for MBA at iimkozhikode, and so now I'm here trying to guide you all.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful introduction. And let's talk about what motivated you to prepare for CAT, because you have already worked in RT industry, and I myself is from chemical engineer. And when you see RT industry is a lot of the job that we have to do is regarding technical part. So why do you left that technicality and come to management field? And what inspired you to do that?
MBA was never a first preference for me. But when I was in college, I wanted to go for board chemical engineering.
Yeah.
So I went there. I was in operations for 1 year only. And later on, I thought that I'm doing more managerial job, more handling implementation job, rather than going into proper technical job.
Yeah.
So after 1 year, I got shifted to process design engineering. So there I was more focused on the technicalities of a chemical industry and chemical plant. I gained a lot of technical knowledge, but what I felt was I lacked managerial skills was okay, but I didn't have a holistic understanding of a business or how a chemical industry works. From where the resources, the raw materials are sourced, how we get in contact with the suppliers, the entire supply chain from end to end business point of view. So I thought that I need a holistic understanding for my growth.
Yeah.
So that's why I went on to pursue MBA. I learned what is that we have to give CAT exams, the different CATs and different exams that we can go for, and then there are different colleges. So approximately at 2021, I started this journey. I was completely new to it, and I started from searching what is CAT. So that's how my journey began.
Yeah, actually, I mean, that's how the journey for everyone begins, searching for what is CAT. We will get to this point. And another thing, that very good thing that you have talked about, that when we moved toward, in RT industry, I was in Sun Pharma. And my manager also told me that go and see how this business is working. And then actually I find out about, the complexity of supply chain. That's the first time I heard of supply chain. And from there it, shifted toward this managerial part. And
even in project management as well. I was in process design, so I was working very closely with project management.
Yeah.
Even then also I didn't have a holistic understanding how the project is built from scratch, how a case is formed, business case is formed. I didn't have these knowledge.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pursue that as well.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we were there just to execute the decision that has been made by the corporate, and we had to know that how somebody as corporate knows that this should be implemented for the business. This is good for the business. How they know from far away from this, this statutory job. So that was also one of the point to understand the business as well. And tell us about when do you started your preparation, and how much time did you take, to crack that?
Yes. So I decided that I want to pursue MBA around March 2021. Okay. Sorry, 22. March 2022.
Okay.
Not 21. Yes. March 2022. I decided that I want to pursue an MBA, so I'll go for CAT. And from there, I've been studying. I joined a coaching and all that. I started my preparation.
Okay.
Approximately March.
And please tell us about when you started your preparation. What are the major challenges that you faced? Because you were preparing while you are doing the job, and it's a big hurdle for anyone who is preparing with the job, because after 8-9 hours of shift, you have to come home and then start preparing. So how did you do that, and how do you overcome this challenge?
So the thing was, I already analyzed how much time I can give to my preparation and how much time I can give to CAT. So like you said, right, after 8 to 9 hours, sometimes 10, 12 hours as well. after working that much, you do actually have very little space and time in your hand for preparing. So I realized that I cannot go for researching the reference materials that I can get, online researching, staying up to date with the trends and of how like what are the trends in this year and how everyone is preparing. So what I did was for the first 1 week I talked with everyone. I planned that I'll join a coaching, preferably an online one, because I needed the trends and all the research materials ready. I didn't have time to do that. So I wanted someone else to do that and provide me the reference materials already. So I decided to join a coaching. I have talked to people and most of them suggested to go for elite. So I joined them and then I started my preparation. And about challenges, I faced a lot of challenges during my time, as I realized that I already made the decision quite late in my career. I mean, by the time CAT was arriving, I was already quite late in my preparation. So I joined batch 3, which was a rigorous batch, and you had to attend for 2 hours every day. And then during the weekends, there will be marathon sessions that ran for like 6 hours, 8 hours, something like that. So I couldn't keep up at some point. By the time August came, I was almost detached with this preparation. So I left my preparation in between. I was still getting the reference materials, the video lectures and everything. But I was lagging behind a lot. So I left that. I focused on my job for a while, for 1 month. And then I realized that if I have already, by that time I already decided, I was sure that I won't be getting this year. So it's better to join coaching from January from next year. But somehow I don't know. I realized that if I had already started this preparation, this journey, so maybe I should end it at least with a bang. So that's what I did. By September, I restarted my journey. I started preparing rigorously. I was watching videos all day and then practicing materials every day. And that's how by the time November came, I was almost prepared, well prepared. I had given some mock tests and I was a bit confident in myself.
So you cracked it that year. After 2023, you cracked the CAT in 23. Even after, with the gap of from March to September. Am I right? March to September?
Yes. I started preparing properly from June.
Okay.
And then because the batch started from June, in between I was going for maybe I was practicing all of that, but that actually didn't work that much for me as much as the coaching did. So I started my proper preparation from June. I left on August. And then I restarted from September, October, November was the actual preparation that I did.
So according to you, it might take somebody how much months, if somebody is trying to, start it with the help of coaching, and how much time do they actually need? Based upon your experience, 5 months, 6 months, what's the a decent amount of time if somebody wants, they can do this?
I would say for proper, if you are from an engineering background, quant is much easier for you than the non-engineers, right? I mean, I was able to cope up and catch up with this because I am an engineer. So I already have a background in quants and FT and all. So for me, it was easier, but I would not suggest anyone to go down the path I did, the timeline I did. Obviously, coaching will work. If you want to have proper confidence in you, I would say joining a batch from February, March in Elite Split as well. They have 3 batches. I mean, later on, I thought that it would have been better if I would have joined batch 1 preferably. So it gives you a lot of time to actually prepare your concepts well, and then it gives you a lot of time to practice as well, which I lacked in my preparation.
Actually, and another question that I want to ask, you have did your preparation with the job, and what do you think? What do you suggest to somebody else if they have a job, whether they should leave the job or prepare with the job? I know that that's a little bit subjective questions, depending on the people. But what do you suggest? What do a person should do?
It totally depends upon the financial condition, I would say. I mean, leaving the job for me wasn't actually a viable solution. This my financial condition wasn't well. But if you can support yourself financially, leaving the job for 1 year will still be a stretch, because in that 1 year in your job you learn something, a minimum employee handling, corporate relations, at least that you learn, which will help you not in your preparation of that, but later on in your corporate life. After MBA you have a life, right? I mean, that knowledge that you extract from your previous job is quite huge and will help you later on. So I would never suggest anyone to leave the job and then prepare for CAT, but if someone can't handle both of them together, then the smarter thing to know what to be doing in the
Yeah.
job.
I mean, if you have one more extra year of experience, then it is going to help you in your placement process, in your corporate.
Yes.
You even you haven't done any job. I mean, you already going to do some job, but you can create a good story out of that experience, and you can share those experience in your interview. Yeah.
Exactly. In our SIPs, I mean, in my SIP, my job helped quite a lot because I had such variety experience
Yeah.
in operations as well as in process design. So I was working in a lot of departments in my own company. I mean, having this type of job is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, so I never suggest anyone to leave the job for 1 year and then give it. Because ultimately you're gaining something from somewhere.
Yeah, of course. And another thing I want to ask that you have talked about your coaching material, coaching. So tell us more about that coaching, and also how did you came to that particular coaching? How do you decided that this coaching is going to be best for me, and what are the study material that you have referred to prepare for it?
So I was suggested a variety of coachings like CrackU, Elite Split, and IMS. So I eventually decided to join Elite Split because most of the people that I had already talked to, they said that in Elite Split, the November month, normally people leave. Normally people don't put that much effort during the November month because it's the end.
Yeah.
The coaching doesn't have any more input to give. But in Elite Split, they actually stay with you till November month, till the end. I mean, we had CAT on 27th. They taught us till 26th. They were revising. They were making us revise stuff. They ran 6-hour sessions just to make us memorize all the formula, LRT, logic, all the previous paper back. They solved it with us. So that's why I joined Elite. So that and apart from that, the reading material or the reference material, they provide their own reference materials. They take online classes and then they give us assignments. We have to solve them. They don't provide any reading materials as such. They provide assignments that we can use to solve. So we can practice them. And they take sectional tests as well and full-length mocks. After September, I think they started taking full-length mocks. Before that, they used to take sectional tests. And apart from that, they'll also suggest you to take IMS series and career launcher series as well for the mock tests. So you click those mock tests and they discuss them in class.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, taking a mock from other coaching institution actually gives you a perspective, a holistic view that what other candidates are doing and how they are preparing. That's actually a good strategy to go with. And
and there will be variance in difficulties as well, right?
Yeah.
In different coaching.
Yeah.
So you can adjust it to that variety.
yeah, and because you are competing with those students, so it's very much important you have a overall views to know that where I am currently standing. That's very good point that you have explained. And tell us about your interview preparation part, because as an engineer, I can see that you have great communication skills, but while starting as an engineer, we always face this problem of communicating with someone else in a proper way, and that was major problem that I faced. And have you faced this problem, and if yes, can you share your experience that how you overcome it and who helped you prepare for it?
Yes, I mean, I used to have, I don't have them now because I've given so many interviews and
Yeah.
just got used to it. But earlier, during CAT interview processes, I had a little bit of confidence problem. And also, I couldn't structure my answers very well. So the interview used to get lost in my answers, like, what are you trying to say? So what I did was, first, the one thing that really helped me was I always put on a smile during my interviews. So
That's
it actually
very
shakes off the nervousness.
Yeah.
I would suggest that to everyone. Yeah, and the interview also gets very frank with me, and they get comfortable.
Yeah.
So the interview process goes very smoothly. Just fine.
That's it.
And that's it. And secondly, the structure part which I was facing, how I overcame that, I used an approach, star approach. Basically.
Yeah.
First, I used to define the statement, and then the task that I was supposed to do, and the action that I took, and what was the outcome.
Yeah.
So that's how I structured all the situation-based questions. Mostly, you can apply star approach to everything. And if someone is asking for your opinion in some matter, like they do in any news or any political situations, then you can just use special approach. Like you can give a more concrete answer in that. Like political, economical, health and social,
Yeah.
technological, legal,
Special
and
answer.
environment.
Yeah.
Yes. You can just give a pastel answer for every opinion-based question.
Yeah.
So you give a very holistic answer.
Yeah,
in that
actually.
respect.
Yeah.
And for situation-based question, you just give star approach.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
it.
this approach that you're talking about, I learned it while coming here. Then when I started giving interview for my SIP, and they were started preparing us for it, and then they showed us like any situation based question, just use star approach, and even if you have to say that that I am using the star approach, just say that in your mind and start your statement with this. State your statement and then go over task, action, result, and it's like
Yes.
it's a very good tool because at that point of time interviewer is also with you that okay, now we have talked about the statement, these are the tasks that you've done, then he is expecting that what are the actions that you've taken, what are the results.
Yes.
That's a very good approach that you talked about. And after that the next question is, you have prepared while using while doing your jobs, and in between you have left the preparation, then continued it with all those ups and downs. Getting iimkozhikode, is it worth it?
I would say it's definitely worth it because I always wanted to go pursue MBA from a premier institute,
Yeah.
and I guess iimkozhikode is one of the premier
Premier.
institutes that I can get in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I actually had a choice between three colleges mainly that were my personal favorite,
Okay.
and then I chose iimkozhikode.
Okay.
So obviously it's worth it after coming here, even after the SIPs, I would say.
Yeah.
It really changed my life.
Okay, that's good. And tell us about your experience. I mean, if you can divide your experience in first 3 months and then after 3 months, because first 3 months is very much crucial, and I want to hear it from you. What was your experience when you first entered into iimkozhikode, and from the day one, can you explain it to us?
Okay, the first 3 months, the term one is was the toughest term actually. So when I entered, there were so many things getting thrown at me. I mean, at first they started with inauguration and orientation.
Yeah.
That was quite smooth. Okay. And I was like, okay, it's just a normal college and then you have the coursework. It was fine because I was already prepared. I knew that MBA is not that easy. You have to work a lot hard and you get to sleep only 3 hours, 4 hours. These were all the myths that goes around.
Yeah.
That also came to my ear and I prepared myself for that. But then when the SIP process started, it was hectic. It was way too hectic. But eventually I survived and I got a good SIP as well. And after that, the second term, it was quite chill. I mean, we just had coursework and nothing else. So what I did was I took some time to recover from the first term, and I just relaxed during the second term and I focused on my studies. And I traveled a lot during that term as well, and I went to various places. And after the second term, when we are in the third term, I'm trying to jump into, I'm trying to do some case forms, some value addition learning,
Yeah.
any other courses, advanced Excel queries and all. So I'm trying to add some values in this before the SIP.
Yeah, that is very much important actually. And you have like beautifully described the entire 6 months, and it was very nice to talk to you, Ankita. And thank you for coming here. And if you have any feedback, you can share with us.
I mean, thank you for inviting me. It was really a pleasure talking to you as well and sharing my experience. So I'll say all the best to all the aspiring candidates. Hope they do well and get into any IIM or any college of their choice.
Yeah.
And interview next year with you as well.
So that's all from my side. Feel free to like this video, comment, subscribe if you have any questions. See you then. Bye.